Whether it's for competitive gaming or just passing time on train rides, high-quality mobile gaming is no longer a luxury.
It's now a necessity for any mobile device and for some people certainly as well. Over the next few years, experts predict the mobile games industry will grow 27.3% annually, and by 2016, the tablet games market is projected to reach $10 billion.
Well, to check out the latest mobile games trends and the shape of things to come, we talked to this morning Dr. Simon Lui, Associate Professor from the Singapore University of Technology and Design, and also Olivier de Rotelier, Managing Director of Ubisoft Singapore. Good morning to you both, gentlemen.
Good morning.
So just give us an idea. I mean, the gaming industry is huge, that we know, but mobile gaming, this is an up-and-coming trend that we see right now. How big is this industry? How big is it going to get?
In 2009, the mobile gaming industry revenue was just very small, $4.3 billion. But then it become 3 times larger in 2012, and it is expected to even double in 2015.
So these are the new cash cows in the market. Would you put it that way?
Yeah, exactly. Because in US alone, it already accounts for 1 million people who are playing mobile games, which is 1/3 of the US population already. That is a large potential customer people.
So what are the main sort of contributing drivers, apart from the fact that we're all using much more sophisticated mobile phones nowadays? Is there any other reason why there's such a big trend towards mobile gaming?
Yeah, the first thing is people have more and more mobile, and smartphone was a big change in this industry that allowed to develop more and more content. The fact that people are more connected as well allowed to develop more content and more interesting games. And one very important trend also is that the games are free now. It's a major trend, so you can pick a game, try it. If you like it, you play it for some time, or you change. So that helped a lot people to adopt them.
So you get to buy before you try, you saying?
Exactly. So that's more or less the free. Yeah, that's more or less probably 95% of the game today. You can try them, and you will buy in that purchase.
Upgrade, right?
Yeah, exactly. Some upgrades, customization, and things like this.
I suppose all these factors actually, create incentives or kind of hooks you to the whole thing. But I am assuming that because of this massive explosion of gaming fans on mobile devices now, we're seeing more, I would call it, casual gamers versus hardcore gamers. Would you put it that way? We had hardcore gamers, I think 10 years ago, StarCraft or Warcraft or what have you, but now on mobile phones, it's really simple games that's really selling really well, right?
Yeah, exactly. So actually the gaming population changed a lot. Now we have 54% of the gamers, they are females, and we have more than 1/3 of the gamers who are more than 40 years old. So they have very different needs from the, let's say, hardcore gamers like us. They are looking for something simple and something easy to play.
But can mobile games satisfy the hardcore gamers? Because are the games as sophisticated as games consoles as it stands?
Yeah, I think they can take care of both, because for a small game, they can have different level to from some challenging modes, so that a hardcore gamer can still have some fun on playing those hard games.
I think if you're really hooked to it, I suppose you'll be playing it everywhere you go, but the screen is so small. But tell us, which are the genres that are the most popular right now among mobile game users?
I think all the genres are doing quite well. So I think the quality is the most important thing. So there are more and more games out there, and those developers that will focus on quality. So it can be card games, it can be RPG games, it can be action games, etc. They have a chance to succeed, and we've seen different genres succeeding on the mobile platform, but I think more and more the quality of the execution was the key.
So it's the quality that consumers go for, not so much which genre they prefer to play on the mobile phone. Because I'm just assuming, for me, I will go for the simple ones. The screen is so small, and how much can you do with your finger on the screen?
Yeah, they need to be simple, and I think that's what we've learned from those new games coming from mobile is you have to make the experience very simple, It doesn't mean that the game has no depth. It means that it needs to be easy to access, and then after
Right.
you can stick to it for some time. But being simple is not easy to do, but it's
Yes, being simple
it's
is actually
key.
not
Yeah.
easy. Yes.
I presume how long you can play a game is something that's of importance as well, because I mean, if you're on the move, then you don't necessarily want a game that continues for a very long time.
You know, very often you can play those games, and the key point is you can play those games with your friends. So as long as your friends are connected with you on those games, you will want to, you know, meet them every day. You know, you have a
So it's the social aspect of it.
social
as well.
aspect will make you stay probably for much longer than what you were expecting in the beginning.
What about the different sort of target audiences for game developers? Who are they really trying to hit home with some of the new games that are coming out? I mean, you mentioned, for instance, that there are a lot more female gamers now than there used to be.
Yes, so actually now the game developer, they are looking for someone who haven't played game before. They have no experience in game, so they want to target on those people. For example, my father, he doesn't know how to play game, but he's playing Angry Bird every day now.
Yvonne as well mentioned that she's not a big gamer, but I think we can convince her there's something for her.
Exactly, he win Angry Bird win 3-star in all stages because it's so easy to play.
So I mean, looking at this trend and you know, this mobile app games, what does that tell you about consumers today? What do you take away from what you see right now, and how they, you know, consume or use these mobile apps?
Oh, I think it gives them something creative, something that they didn't expect. Until they play the game, they find a funny thing inside it. So it gives them some extra experience.
So for game developers, I suppose one of the key word, of course, would be to go simple. But what other things or considerations should you take into account?
So you have to be simple, but quality is important. Being able to connect with your friend is a key point. And again, you know, freemium model is the model that is, you know, 95% of the market or even more. So you have to offer your game for free.
Oh, you have, yes,
yeah.
for free, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's obviously
Yeah.
a big incentive. But we've got some of the favourites written down here. Candy Crush Saga. I've not actually played that before. Temple Run. Never even heard of that myself. But
Yeah.
everyone's heard of Angry Birds. Those have been very popular games in the past. But what do you think the big trends are for 2014? What are the key things people are looking for this year?
So the trend will keep on going the way it's going at the moment. More and more people will be connected, so you will be able to reach more people. I think there are still a lot to do on the social side, you know, connecting people, giving them the opportunity to play together.
Or
That's
to
the
be
key.
more specific, are there particular games right now that are, you know, gaining traction when it comes to base of fans?
So Ubisoft has a few interesting games that are coming out next year, and I'm very confident that they could do well. So we have the Rayman Saga that is coming on mobile, and that's still very powerful. Trial games that are developed, and I'm very confident they could do well. Yeah.
And Dr. Louis, what are your favorite games?
Oh, my favorite game is those that combine myself with social media, because I can see myself inside the game. Yeah, and that's why the game they try to promote themselves in social media, because people like to post their own news on the social media.
Now, the evolution of these games has gone hand in hand with mobile devices getting more and more sophisticated as well. But so, how do you think that might change in the future? I mean, we've talked a lot about wearable gadgets in the future. Is that likely to, I mean, are we likely to see games on watches, for instance, in the future?
Yeah, so it depends on what is the next popular platform, because now the mobile devices become smaller and smaller. I think at the point that when the device cannot be even smaller, they will be embedded everywhere, maybe on the floor, on the fridge, or in the table.
Goodness.
So at that time, the experience can be different. Maybe at that time, the console game might fight back and combine with the cloud technology.
Do you think console games are fighting back? I mean,
Yeah,
we've
yeah.
talked a lot this morning about the new PlayStation 4,
Yes.
the new Xbox
Console,
One as well. Definitely trying to take a piece of the pie out of the market as well.
They are doing extremely well. So the launch of those consoles were very strong, much stronger than the previous cycle. So it means that the console market is still well alive. I think what will change is now when you design a game even for console, you think about the mobile side of
Right.
it. So how can I
So
give
what's the synergy?
the players the opportunity to keep on playing when they are not
Yeah.
at home and still being involved in their game. So I think that's the key trend is they are all interacting together.
Right. And
Yeah.
that's the scary part, really, to see it on the floor in the fridge, like you said. Oh, I don't know about that. Thank you so much for
I
coming
think
in
that's where
this
you're going to
morning.
start seeing some funny
Oh,
hand movements when people are walking around the street and
goodness,
you're not quite aware what they're doing
I don't
exactly.
know.
You don't know what they're doing.
There's a limit to how gaming can overtake our lives. Anyway, Dr. Simon Lui there from Singapore University of Technology and Design, and Olivia de Rochalier from Ubisoft Singapore, giving us an inside scoop on the latest mobile games trends and how it will change the future of video games.